Now this is a different looking e-bike here. It's from a company called DKY bikes. It's their Retro R, and I think it looks fantastic how different it is, but this vintage old style look to it about it that almost looks like it's a motorcycle, an old moped. Now what this bike has is a 500 watt rear hub motor. It's got a drive shaft, so no gears at all. It has mechanical disc brakes, 160 millimeter ones. No suspension, obviously. This is a urban city bike for cruising. Now the maximum assisted speed that you can get out of this is 25 kilometers per hour. The battery, which is located right here, has a 384 watt hour capacity, and they do claim, DKY bikes, that it should last you for around about 60 kilometers when you're using the pedal assist mode. So in this in-depth review, I'll go over the build quality and the design of it in detail, my typical treatment, road tests, what is it like to ride, how does it climb, what is the braking performance like, and any pros and cons that come up. Now the frame and the handlebars, all the tubing is stainless steel. Now they've polished it, so it does look exceptional. They've polished out the welds, and you can't see any of that rainbow style that can sometimes come through with stainless steel either. So the frame is really good, the quality and the finish of it. Now this is really well done. What looks like a carry pack right here is in fact where the controller for the battery and the motor is housed within this pack here. Now it's made out of genuine leather strap around here. All the leather they've used is proper leather, and it's Italian leather too. And this, what looks like a water bottle, is in fact our battery. So 384 watt hours. It does take 4 hours approximately to fully charge. And the good thing about it, it just looks like a water bottle. So it all matches in with this retro aesthetic they're going for, that vintage look. The pedals here, these are made from a well-known company, Welgo, and they feel really good, and they do match with the design of it all in the silver that we've got. Here on the left side of the crank, we have our speed sensor. So this is detecting when you are pedaling. That's when it will give you the pedal assistance up to 5 levels. Mechanical disc brakes on the rear, 160 millimeter ones. They are very typical this size. Then 160 millimeter mechanical discs at the front too. Now, if I was to criticize something about this bike, it is the brakes. I really think they should have gone with hydraulic disc brakes with such a heavy bike like this. Now we have alloy rims on this with steel spokes, and the hubs are also steel there too. Now I like the fact that they've gone with 24-inch size tires, but they are 3 inches wide. The tread pattern is a city road style tire, which is fitting for a bike like this. You certainly wouldn't be off-roading with it. Our front headlight is continuing with that retro style, so vintage looking light here, nice and large. It has a yellow tint to it, and when you turn on this front headlight, it does dim the display. And more leather is used for our cable management around the front handlebars and on the handlebars. The bike rack here has a carry weight of 25 kilos, and like the rest of the bike, it is also made out of stainless steel. The rear mudguard does include a tail light. Now this one is solar powered, and it does come on automatically. It's not connected up or wired in to the front headlight. The kickstand used is a sturdy one that has to take quite a bit of weight, as this bike does weigh just over 30 kilos. It does not rattle around, and so far I've found it great, and it holds up the bike well, and it's not fallen over once. The battery is sealed, and right here there is a little waterproof dust cap where you plug it in to charge. You can replace these batteries, you can buy them new from them, but they do cost around about 600 euros for a new battery. The seat, this is again made out of genuine leather. It's a hard leather seat. It's fully adjustable, so you can drop it right down or raise it right up for various different rider heights. Swept back handlebar here, so this is adjustable. You simply just push this down, lift up the lever, and you can change the angle of these handlebars to however you like. So you can raise them up a little bit, you can drop them down to being more flat. Now the swept back style is not a style I normally go for, but it is quite comfortable, and it means when you're riding, you're more at an upright sort of style. Your back is definitely a lot straighter than, say, a mountain bike straight handlebars. The grips the bike uses are lock grips made out of leather. We have a retro style bell here, which is rather loud, and this is our rear brake on the right side. We do have an accelerator right here, so if the bike is powered on, you simply press this down and then it will go, it will start and take off. You just need to put it onto the pedal level assist 1 or higher. If it's on 0, it won't be working at all. So this is a little dangerous. You have to be careful with this. If you accidentally touch it or press it down, the bike will then just take off. Then on the left, we've got our front brake right here, and our controls for the trip computer. So power on for the whole bike is at the top. This is the pedal level assist, up and then down. So there's 5 levels, and in the middle, the I is our information to cycle through the trip computer. And a really large display here. So I'm not doing it justice. It actually looks a little bit brighter than what it does when I'm recording right now. So we have our speed right here, wattage from the motor, the battery capacity. We've got our trip meter right here. We can cycle through various different things like the odometer, maximum speed, average speed, and our pedal levels right here, pedal assist levels. So 0, and when it's off, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, the maximum at 25 kilometers per hour, top speed assistance that it will give you in both the moped and pedal assist modes. And let's get on to what it's like to ride this particular bike here. Well, I do find it very comfortable. So when you get on it, you've got those swept-back handlebars, and they do make it feel quite comfortable because you're upright, your position, riding position. I've got so much room here for my knees. They're not going to hit the handlebars at all. And when you start to pedal, you feel that motor straight away. It detects that you're pedaling, it kicks in with that pedal assist, and it is very easy just to power along here up to 25 kilometers per hour. Once you go over that, it then cuts out. Now I do have the option of the accelerator here. I can use that. So instead of pushing off and pedaling, I can just press down on the accelerator and away you go ahead effortlessly. It is a very nice bike to ride. It just cruises along on city roads, bike lanes. This bike is perfect for that. Climb test now. So this is about a 30-degree climb that I test with all the e-bikes and e-scooters. How is it going to handle it? So I'm going to be using the pedal assist mode 4 to start with, and I'll probably just accelerate and we'll see how it fares up this. Now it's got a 500 watt motor depending on the region. Otherwise it could be 250. We'll just use the accelerator here, and you can see that even going up this, look at that. It's got power, and I can see that it's actually pulling, according to the screen, up to 780 watts, and it's able to do this climb without any problem. I can feel it slowing down a little bit now, so I'll start pedaling, and a little bit of work has to be put in, a little bit of pedal power, but now it's pulling 900 watts at level 5 here. It is going up this with relative ease, but you still have to pedal a little bit, but I can tell you it's not hard at all with such a climb like this, which is, well, reasonably steep. It's going up this without any issues at all. And what about the brakes? So we've got 160 millimeter disc brakes. Now, I really wish they were hydraulic. So I'm gonna get up to about 30 kilometers per hour, and that is about now full on braking. It's okay, adequate, but really, I do think a heavy bike like this probably needs hydraulic calipers instead of mechanical ones. Just that extra braking performance would be good on a heavy bike like this. So cruising on the roads here, really nice on this bike, very comfortable. And I'm over 25 kilometers per hour, so the motor is not doing anything. I'm not using any battery now. And if I press really hard, I can get up to easily about 33 kilometers per hour, even with the 24-inch wheels. And hopefully I'll overtake this guy on the climb probably. He does have a mountain bike, which is better geared than this. Very nice ride, just comfortable, this riding position, quite upright, very smooth, and just so easy with that motor. It's got plenty of power. Now, what range are you looking at on this? They do claim that you can get about 60 kilometers in the pedal assist mode. Now, what I've discovered with my weight, 81 kilos, and the climbs I've been doing around here, I'm looking more like 45, 48 kilometers that I can squeeze out of it. The good thing about this bike that when you start to pedal over 25, of course, it cuts out the motor. And it's geared in quite a high gearing there, so it just cruises along on the roads. And a lot of the time I'll be pedaling under my own power, and I'll be doing about 30, 32, 33 kilometers per hour. Not a problem. It's not even using any of that battery, of course. That means the range is going to be very good with it when you're doing it like that. Now, if you use just the accelerator in the moped mode, you are then looking at approximately around 18, 20 kilometers. Again, it will depend on your weight, how many climbs you're going to be doing. So the mileage will definitely vary there from rider to rider, and if you've got a lot of hills, that does take quite a bit of a toll. Now, plenty of power here for those climbs. There's no gears, so if you've got really steep climbs, then you're going to have to put a little bit of effort into it at times, I did discover there. Now, I do love the fact that it's got a drivetrain, so that means there's no gears at all, there's no maintenance, you don't have to worry about the chain coming off, you don't have to worry about your jeans getting stuck in the front end of the chain. If that's ever happened to you, you probably know what I'm talking about. That's a nightmare. You don't have to oil it, no maintenance. That's really great. Now, the design of it, of course, this is not for everyone, this vintage look, but I think it looks fantastic. This retro style, they've got it down. And how they have hidden away the controller in the leather pack here. It looks like a little carry pouch. And then we've got what looks like a water bottle is in fact that battery there. Now, the battery charge isn't only 4 hours. Now, the front mudguard, a couple of times you might have heard it rattling a little bit. That's because it's very close either side to the fork. I need to align it a little bit better so there's less chance of it striking it, making that noise. But there's not really that much that rattles. The motor, quiet, not really that loud. Now, another area that I don't particularly like is definitely with this, the brakes. I think they're okay, they're adequate, but I think they should be hydraulic calipers and not mechanical ones. So you've got just a little bit of added performance there, so it does brake a little bit better, because after all, the second con of the bike really is it is heavy. This thing is 30 kilos. It's not a bike that you want to be carrying upstairs or lifting up into a van or onto public transport every day. It's not for that. This is an urban cruising style bike, and it's certainly great at that. The display, nice and large, lots of information right there. That is really good. The light at the front is adequate enough. It's not super bright, and we do have that one at the rear too as well. So all up, I think this is a fantastic e-bike if you're after something that is different, but it doesn't come cheap. It's about 1,500 euros at the time of me recording this review. So it really depends on the style of bike you want. You need to factor that in. If this is something you're looking for, you want something that stands out. A lot of people will be asking questions about it. When I've been riding around, there's been a lot of people going, what bike is that? You know, is it a motorcycle? Is it a moped? It's an e-bike. That's what it is, of course. So thank you for watching this review, and I do hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.